Well, hey, everybody, we're live on Facebook today. This is The Stan Show. I'm Stan Arthur, your host, and I'm here with my effervescent co-host, Chevy Millard. How you doing, Chevy?
How's it going, Stan?
Well, I missed you, man. You've been, It feels like 3 weeks since we've done this.
It's that time of the year. I'm just busy.
Well, that's cool. Hey, I did see the band.
Yeah?
Yeah, I saw the band on the float in the Christmas parade, and excellent. It was absolutely excellent. And
Very cool.
And I actually hate to admit it, but I didn't miss the bass guitar at all.
Yeah. Well, it's a cool thing. Our lead singer and guitar player, he's actually got this thing where it actually splits the guitar signal and it goes into a bass amp too. So it drops it in that lower register. So it sounds like we have a bass when we don't.
It's working.
Yeah.
It is working. And one less mouth to feed. So, So we are going live on Facebook today. So that means this will be unedited. And all my podcasts up until now have been edited. So people are going to get the special treat there, but so to speak. But we running this thing live on Facebook. We've got a message board, and we've already got a couple of messages. One is from your wife.
Yeah.
It says, looking forward to seeing your stud of a co-host. I gotta concur with that. Gotta say, yep, that's pretty much. And this looks to be your mom. Say hi to my boyfriend, Mama. Well, you just did, Mama. You just said hi.
Gotta do that old TV thing. Hi, Mama.
Boy, what a wild couple of weeks it's been.
Jeez.
It's been absolutely insane. There's so much going on, and so much we can comment on. News items, all sorts of stuff. But before we get into any of that, I just wanted to ask you about what was my last sort of podcast, which was I did solo, but the whole purpose of it was to put your appearance in front of the Swain County School Board on there about the illegal fight club that you uncovered. What do you have to follow up on that?
Well, I wanted to get out a few details because when I don't know if people know, when you get up in front of the school board, it's kind of nerve wracking and everything, but it's also, you only get 3 minutes to get your point across. So I had to speed through a couple of things. And at the beginning of that, I handed each one of the school board members a couple pieces of paper and everything.
Saw that.
And it was actually what it was is text messages and the text message chain of these kids actually text messaging rules and regulations, and if something happened, we needed to do this, and if we got caught, we can finish it at another piece of property off school property and everything. And the only thing I was trying to get at was if employees of the school or adults knew about this, then we have a big issue.
Yeah.
And if teachers and adults and employees didn't know about this, we have an issue.
Uh-huh.
And I'm all for hey, if we want to get a boxing club going and have parents sign stuff and everything, that's totally fine. I understand that kids are going to want to do this kind of stuff and everything, but let's not do it secretively. Let's not do it to where it looks shady if some adults are involved and everything. And that's my biggest getaway is like, if something like this needs to happen, let's do it safe and structured, not in a bathroom where one wrong hit, somebody's done for.
Absolutely. And it seems to me that the danger and the secrecy is the allure of it.
Yeah.
Just like the movie Fight Club.
Yeah.
Which ended up being all in a guy's mind. Oh, spoiler. Sorry.
Right.
But that was, and I think once you remove the danger and the secrecy, then maybe it's not so fun anymore. What do you think?
Yeah, it might be. And I mean, I have yet to point out who I found this out by, how I found this out by and everything. And I won't. because these are minor kids,
Right.
and everything. And like I said, I've seen videos and everything, and I've seen the injuries and the bruises.
Well, how you found it out is not the point.
Exactly.
It's not the point at all. So we need to focus on the message,
Yeah.
and not on the media, right?
Yeah.
If that even makes sense.
Right. And that's the biggest things with some of the comments and everything. They're like, boys will be boys and all that. And then we had a few commenters, you could tell they were students and they were either part of it at one point or whatever. And I was just like, no, I agree with you. Their outlets are good and everything. And if we're going to have an outlet, let's do it correctly. This secretive stuff and could be exploitive stuff is not good.
Well, and I think you did mention that some of this had been caught on cell phones, right?
There's tons of videos.
People have been making videos of it.
Yeah.
So at least there's proof of that. I mean, that and if anything had happened to anybody, then the liability's in check there. I mean, there it is on tape or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I take it Swain High School doesn't have any sort of pugilism program, no boxing or anything like that.
The only thing I guess would be close would be high school wrestling.
Right? Yeah. Of course, they all have wrestling things, but that's not the same.
No,
that's the same as punching a guy out.
Yeah.
Just wild question: Did any girls take any part in this?
Not that I am aware of. From when this was caught, and that was a thing. Nobody ratted out or anything like that. It was caught.
Yeah.
And from what I understood, there was 10 students at the time that were caught or involved.
Yeah.
And the one thing I wanted to make sure that didn't happen, that it was pushed aside like it was just a fight that was caught.
Right.
Not there was a thing. And like I can pull up, let's see here. So I don't know if you can see that, but
no,
of course not. But anyways, I've got the text messages. Like this one is some of the rules and regulations. Is of course, first one is you do not talk about Fight Club, because that's the first rule of every Fight Club.
Yeah.
Only talking aloud in this GC. So I'm guessing this group chat.
Right.
If someone says to stop or goes limp or taps out, the fight is over. Only 2 guys to a fight. 1 fight at a time, no headshots unless agreed by both parties. Fights will go on for as long as they have to. Whenever you join the group chat, you have to fight that day.
Huh.
And that's the first set of rules. And then there's, of course, another set of rules. And it keeps going on. And
pretty well thought out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was like. This
pretty
was
well
an actual
organized
club. This wasn't just a fight that happened.
This was really on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just like, I got to point this one out. Give me 1 second. Not even taking a decision. The chance is like, no, I'll just go through it. No grabbing clothing or pulling hair. If opponent doesn't tap out or says anything, fights keep going on until tapped out or KO'd. Yet again, this is happening in a bathroom.
Really?
Yeah, with sinks,
so
hard floor.
Like multiple people showing up to observe one fight?
From the videos, it looks like there's at least 4 or 5 in a group right there, and you can see and everything.
And are they I'm just adjusting your picture a little bit. Give you a little more headroom there. There we go. Are they getting out of class? They're excusing themselves, saying I have to use the restroom.
Well, see, that's where I've kind of lost at, and the person that I've talked to, they won't. They're keeping their cards close to their chest, of course, and everything.
Right.
And that's where my biggest question is how does a group of kids go missing in the bathroom? It has to be an extended amount of time.
Right.
And then pop back up where there are bruises, there are blood drawn and everything, and nobody asks a question of where these kids went off to. That's my biggest issue.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. Nothing shocks me anymore, Chevy.
Yeah.
So to hear this news, I'm not shocked at all.
Right.
I'm not. I'm not too concerned about it because my granddaughters are toddlers.
Right.
and that will probably end up going to Swain County High School.
Right.
At least I know that I know for sure that that Blake Ivy will. She's in what's it called? Adventures now. Bright Adventures now.
Right.
And in fact, I saw when they were giving out the Best and Then Some awards at the meeting. I saw one of her classmates was, and also her teacher, Miss Jennifer, was mentioned also.
Okay.
She's apparently well loved there.
Yeah.
And I haven't met any of them. Of course, I rarely ever leave the house for any reason. But
right.
Yeah, there is that. Cool. Well, so did anybody get back to you on that?
I'm in talks with one school board member. Sadly, it's already a person that I've known in my personal life, and she kind of helped me get the gumption to bring this to the school board members. And the biggest thing was the only reason she had heard about it was because of me.
Are they going to have any further discussion about it?
I haven't heard anything about that yet.
We'll get back with her.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping. I've ran into one other school board member after that. Didn't really say anything about it. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of interested. And like I said, I'm not trying to say, let's keep fighting out of school and everything. I'm saying if we're going to do it, let's do it structurally and more safe than kids disappearing into a bathroom and punching each other's faces out.
Yeah. Crazy. All right. Well, there's that. Anything else new in your life?
Nope. Just working.
Yeah. Do you get any Christmas vacation coming up?
No. I get Christmas Day off.
Is the casino closed that day?
No.
I didn't think so.
The casino has ever closed twice since it's ever been open.
Did it close during Hurricane Helene?
No.
No.
The only times it closed was the second day it was ever open.
Yeah.
They actually ran out of money.
Oh, dang.
And then COVID.
Wow.
Those are the only two times that place has ever closed down.
Crazy. So no actual Christmas vacation for you, anything like that. My Blake Ivy, Bright Adventures is going to be closed Friday, and then she's off for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, which we don't mind, of course. So, we're used to having Blake Ivy around all the time. That's not a problem. But I just thought to myself, when I worked at the law school, which I did for 25 years, we got 2 weeks at Christmas off.
Yeah.
And that did not count toward our vacation days.
Oh, wow.
And we would get 20 vacation days every year.
Right.
So that was like 34 vacation days every year.
Right. No, it's actually kind of cool. I love that's the one. If there's upsides of working at the casino and everything, there's always downsides to any place you work at and everything.
Right.
But one of the cool things they do, the way they do their vacation time is I get, once you start, you get a certain amount of hours a paycheck and everything.
Yeah.
And I've been there for 12 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I get 9 hours a paycheck. So so you can save it up and build it up and everything. And if you have enough workers, you can ask for vacation and everything. And so I love it. I like it the way it works.
That's cool. When I was at the College of Law, we also had, we're allowed X amount of sick days a year. And I think it was like 20. I never took them.
Right.
Never took them. And what a huge surprise when I retired from there and found out they were going to give me all that money.
Hey.
It was a lot of money.
I bet.
They said, we're giving this to you. We're giving you what you haven't spent in vacation days plus all of your sick days.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, you had to pick my jaw up off the floor. I was like, well,
that's a nice paycheck.
That's going to help in retirement for sure. Wow. Yeah. I was mind blown by that. That was crazy. Very, very cool stuff. Yeah, it was great. Well, we've got a lot going on in the news. We're seeing more and more terrorist attacks right now.
Jeez, yeah.
Islamic terror attacks, along with the completely, utterly bizarre murder of Rob Reiner and his wife.
Yeah,
and now
it's crazy.
His son has been arrested for it, and with like a $4 million bail.
Jeez.
I'm guessing that he confessed, or they would not have been able to do that so easily.
Yeah, they figured out something, or he confessing something, or I don't know.
The Brown University shooting, what a bizarre thing that is. They actually found a guy at a hotel 17 miles away, arrested him, and then we didn't hear anything for a day. And then I guess it was this morning,
They
do a
released him.
press conference. They say, yeah, he's not the guy.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, his name got leaked. His picture gets plastered all over X, and people saying, you Republicans, you're such losers. This guy's MAGA, and he did this. It's, oh, wait, he's not the guy. He didn't do it. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
Man, that, I'll admit, I'll confess that when Crooks shot Trump, this picture of this other guy who looked a lot like Crooks got out there.
Right.
And I admit that I took it and I posted it on Twitter.
Right.
And I found out immediately it was a different guy. I immediately took it down. But these Democrats are not taking it down.
Yeah.
They're leaving it up there.
No, it's really crazy. Like when a shooting of some sort happens, how many people become investigators and how many people become psychologists and how many people become this and that. And I'm just like, can we take a minute? Because it happened with the Charlie Cook shooting too.
It sure did.
They arrested the one guy, the older gentleman.
Well, that was Kash Patel.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just dumb.
Yeah. And then his face got plastered everywhere and he had nothing to do with it.
No, but he was a real famous guy for doing what he did there.
Yeah.
It's the third time he'd done such a thing. Third time he'd been at a thing where somebody got killed or whatever. And I don't know how that happens. Was that ever explained?
Yeah.
How that guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I am not sure, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm just like, can we all just take a minute? These are tragic things that are happening.
Extremely.
Let's let the process work before we start pointing the fingers and everything. I mean,
I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
And I admit it. I'll never do that again.
Right.
Yeah. But it seems like they're looking for clickbait.
Oh, yeah.
And that they'll leave it up there for more clicks, even when they've been proven wrong.
Absolutely.
They'll just leave it up there for more clicks. Plus, there's that old adage that depends on how many times the lie is told before it becomes the truth.
Right.
And or true to someone or true to a mass of people or whatever. And that just is so ugly to me. Absolutely so ugly. And it blows my mind.
Well, then that's what gives like conspiracy theories, if you will, a bad rap, if you will, because you get some of these people that have huge megaphones and huge platforms who spread the crap about them and everything when there's real truth underlying, but the truth is getting buried under such crap that the truth doesn't even really matter anymore because now it's a lie because
the truth doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The truth doesn't matter. But what matters is the obfuscation and twisting it and turning it into something that benefits your tribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's that.
That's sadly what all sides of the political spectrum are so doing and have done to a point where it's just so disgusting now.
You're absolutely right. Both sides do it. But I think the good news is that a lot of people are getting very, very hip to it.
Yeah, I really hope so. I mean, well, I don't even know because, I mean, you've got Candace Owen blowing up right now.
Well, there's something else that's in the news. Did you hear? Yeah, she met with Erica Kirk today.
I heard that they were going to meet on a private basis.
Yeah, yeah. But her rhetoric has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I have always been of the thought that it was the one guy.
Right.
And that there was no conspiracy.
Right.
And probably because we found out as much about him as we did, unlike Crooks, who we still know nothing about.
Right.
So you get a lot more people, I think, shouting about conspiracy there. So with Candace, oh my goodness, she started it out just by, what's this? What's this? I don't understand this. I don't understand. And that somehow got morphed and twisted into his own organization set it up and killed him. And even his wife was in on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going, just stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop doing this. And then she's laying to waste some other guys like Tim Pool, if you know who that is.
Yep. I actually was going to bring that up because
oh man, he
tore into her.
Oh, ouch.
Well, especially because he had an issue where somebody drove up to his house and shot up the house.
Yeah.
And Candace Owens calls the wrong police department and says it's all fake.
Well, not only that, but she said that the shots were fired by his own security.
Yeah.
Okay, so none of that's true.
Right.
Benny Johnson, if you know who that is, he's another, he actually worked for Turning Point for 10 years.
Okay.
And he's been doing a podcast now for 4 or 5 years. Very, very popular. He's got millions of followers now. And he's received tons of great invitations. He's been in the White House several times. He went to several of the rallies, and he was there, VIP stuff and all that. Anyway, he's in Tampa. He's doing a show from Tampa.
I got you.
But he lived in a townhouse in Washington, D.C. while he was working for Turning Point. And it was a very bad story. There were the unit next to him that he was connected to caught on fire.
All right.
And was basically gutted. And the room, the condo he was staying in was ruined, and it was a big, nasty, ugly thing. But not really getting into that. But his family is under constant threat now. Someone has already been put in prison for threatening his family. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what. I know why Candace is doing it. I mean, because if you look at her analytics, ever since she's started this, it's shot through the roof.
Yeah.
Her views, her subscriptions, and everything.
Yep, that's going to happen.
Yeah, and I mean that's so sad.
I literally stopped watching her.
Yeah,
I was one of the ones who stopped watching her.
Yeah,
she used to entertain me.
Right,
and I just said, "This is sick and wrong. You have to stop."
Yeah. So hopefully the meeting produces something. We'll see. Yeah.
Well, she's one of the crew right now who are being held accountable for what is being misinterpreted as anti-Semitism.
Right.
All right. They're not anti-Semites. That's another label. It's another buzzword. It's just like you're a racist, you're this, you're that, you're a homophobe, you're an anti-Semite.
Yeah, it all means nothing now.
Right. It caused me to look into the word Zion.
Right.
Because they kept throwing this, you're a Zionist, like it was an insult. I'm like, Zionist? Okay, well, let's look into that. And I went on Grok and I did a whole bunch of stuff. I said, what is behind this word Zion? It always just meant it was this synonymous with Jerusalem to me.
Right.
Or basically the capital of Judaism. The promised land.
Right.
We're marching to Zion. That's old, right?
Right.
You're like, okay, so what's wrong with being a Zionist? So I dug deeper. It's like, well, the name has taken on other connotations.
Right.
So the new hip thing is if you are in league with the government of Benjamin Netanyahu, Bibi, then you're a Zionist and you are to be shunned by the rest of us, especially by the pro-Palestinians.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, that is so lame. That is so lame.
Right.
That is, went back and forth with Grok on that about the meanings of Zion and Zionism, which leads us to our next subject. We didn't even talk about the guys in Australia, but that's kind of, I don't know what they're going to find out about them. Yeah. I believe they're Islamic terrorists.
That's one of the few things that has happened that's kind of like, okay, that's pretty cut and dry. And
pretty much.
And I mean, God bless the dude that disarmed one of those guys.
Oh man, what a great video. I sent you the video today. Did you watch it? Of the complete thing on the bridge?
I haven't watched the complete thing. No.
I sent you the video of it, and it's not that long. It's maybe 3 minutes long.
Right.
And it's the one guy with a phone on the bridge,
Right.
and they both got shot on the bridge.
Right.
And it takes you from the moment that the other guy comes back and it picks up a gun and starts firing, the two of them fire, and it takes you up through the moment where both of them are down.
Right.
And then it clips to somebody standing right over them as they're down, and the people who are there dealing with them.
Right.
And and that doesn't last very long, but man, what a thing. What a thing.
Yeah.
That was a public beach, Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a Hanukkah celebration going on there, but there was also other people there.
Oh, absolutely.
It wasn't just that. There was, I can guarantee you there were no practicing Islamists there, practicing Muslims there, because the girls were in bathing suits. Okay. So that got me to thinking, well, they're not just killing the Jews.
Right.
It's death to the infidels.
Right. The non-believers.
And we're all infidels. If you're not a Muslim, you're an infidel.
Right.
And the hardliners, the extremists, death to America, death to the infidels, all that.
Yep.
So they don't care who they kill.
Yeah.
If you're going up there and it's like, you're going to die and you're headed for your 72 virgins, right? And hopefully a whole new herd of goats. I don't know. But they don't care. They don't care who they kill. They're just going to take out as many as they can.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There's a TV show, actually, the whole thing about Bondi Beach and the lifeguards that work there, because there's all sorts of stuff that happens there. And the beach is always packed.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of people. So it didn't shut down for a little celebration and everything. So you're right. There's probably hundreds of people there.
So I guess the biggest shock there is only what's the death toll up to now? 16?
I think it was either 15 or 16.
16, yeah. And I don't think that includes the terrorists who pulled it off.
Yeah, because actually only one of them are dead. One of them's still alive. And the dude that disarmed the guy, he's still alive.
He got shot twice.
Yeah. Yep.
You can actually see him after he sets the gun on the tree and he starts walking away. You can see him collapse.
Yep.
Yeah, he got hit twice. But yeah, thank God he's still alive. What a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible thing. So anyway, the reason why I brought you here today, Chevy, was I've been learning a lot about the Ethiopian Orthodox Christian Church.
Right.
And how really wildly different it is from, let's say, definitely wildly different from the Catholic Church.
Right.
But also from just, let's call it Orthodox. It's just from run-of-the-mill Christianity, like American Christianity, all right? Like all our churches and all our denominations and all this. This is wildly different.
Yeah.
These are very, very devoted and righteous people. The priesthood, the pastors, the priests, very, very well. We'll start off this way: is that the Ethiopian church was a lot of people migrated to Ethiopia. I can't remember the early year of this, but a lot of people migrated from Jerusalem and from Syria to Ethiopia.
Right.
And a Christian church was established there. And I'm really, really interested in the Ethiopian Bible, because there are 81 books, and in this Christian, in the King James version of the Bible, there are 66 books. That's a lot of extra books.
Yep.
So I started looking into it, started learning about things, and I sent you that one video.
Yeah.
I have problems with that too.
Right.
I have a lot of problems with it, but there's a lot of good information there, historical stuff in there.
Right.
And I kind of broke it down into pieces that I wanted to share today and also talk about things like the Book of Enoch, the Mashafa Kidan, which is also known as the Book of Covenants, plural. And so I was immediately surprised to find that there are 3 books of Enoch. There's first Enoch, second Enoch, and third Enoch.
Right.
And just as an introduction, let's look at let's look at a little introduction from the video that I wanted to play. I'm just going to play like 50 seconds of this from 57. Okay. And do I have the sound on? I believe I do. Let's see. I'm going to blow this up, and we're going to do this. And oh, nope, that took it out, didn't it? That happens. That's my fault. Okay, here we go. Okay. And here we go.
The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church has the largest and most diverse biblical canon in history. They have 81 books. That is 15 more than the Protestant Bible and 8 more than the Catholic version. And get this, these aren't just random additions. These are ancient texts that were once considered sacred by the earliest Christians before being banned by the West. We are talking about books like the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, and the Maccabean. For centuries, Western scholars laughed this off. They said these were just medieval myths, but that arrogance just got checked by science. Radiocarbon dating on the Garima Gospels found in an Ethiopian monastery proved they were written between 330 and 650 AD.
Wow.
That makes them the oldest illustrated Christian manuscripts in the entire world.
Wow, I'm going to stop there. What do you think of that?
It's interesting.
The oldest illustrated Christian manuscripts in the world.
Right.
And by illustrated, they are illustrated.
Yeah.
There's it's a picture book.
Right.
Yeah. So right away that piqued my interest as being when they were written between 303 and 650. Or sometime in between there. They're not sure of the exact dates.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, these things have been carbon dated to that date, and that's astounding.
Right.
You think about it. And when we're talking about there are other Ethiopian texts that were written much later, as late as like 1400.
Right.
Which I would be pretty hinky on, simply because they're written so far after the life of Christ.
Right.
And we'll get into that a little bit. I think we will. I'm not sure. But so I started reading the Book of Enoch. And let's play that. Let's just go ahead and play that little section there. Let's see. Let me get this up and happening. And we'll take it back to 157 here. Okay.
The Book of Enoch is the big one. It explains the why behind the Great Flood. It doesn't just say people were bad. It describes a cosmic invasion. It details how 200 watcher angels descended to Mount Hermon, took human wives, and created a race of genetic hybrids called the Nephilim. These giants ruled the earth and ate humanity. It sounds like science fiction, but the Ethiopian Bible treats it as absolute historical fact, and that is putting it lightly. The text gets incredibly specific. It names the leaders of these fallen angels: Samyaza, Azazel, Barakiel. It says they taught humans forbidden technologies, how to forge swords, how to use cosmetics to seduce, and how to read the stars to predict the future. This wasn't just sin, it was unauthorized technology transfer. The Roman Church hated this book. Why? Because it was too wild. It described a spiritual world that was messy, scary, and filled with monsters. It didn't fit the clean, controllable narrative they wanted, so they deleted it. But Ethiopia kept it. They understood that you cannot just delete history because it makes you uncomfortable.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking up something right quick.
Before I even expound on any of that, I was wondering if you had any problem with that, with what was just said. The
one issue I have with it, and that's what triggered me to look it up real quick. They say the West didn't like it because
So the Catholic Church didn't like
right. It's in the Bible. It is. Then they talk about the Nephilim and what they do and what they're about, and it does talk about like
It doesn't talk about it like this does.
I guess not into depth or whatever.
Well, we're going to get into it.
Right. Well, it's like it's mentioned in Genesis 6:4 and Numbers 13:33.
Yeah. Yes.
There were 9 warriors of the giant born from the union of sons of God, daughter and men before the flood, later appearing as giants and clans of Canaan.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't like that it's saying like it was taken out and it like almost like there's no mention of them and everything. Right.
Well, I'd also keep in mind that the Catholic Bible is bigger than the Protestant Bible.
Right.
It has the Apocrypha,
right,
which is another collection of books.
Right.
Right. Okay. And what we're talking about, the Ethiopian Bible, this goes way beyond the Apocrypha.
Right.
So I started reading the Book of Enoch, first Enoch, and I got up to chapter 77, and I'm like, I got to take a break.
Right.
But the juicy stuff in Enoch is right up front.
Right.
Enoch is books within books. So the first book in the first book of Enoch is the Book of the Watchers.
Right.
And you know who the Watchers were?
Right.
200 angels that were led by about 20 angels who were all in cahoots. And they came up with a plan. And the plan was, man, these daughters of man, they are hot. Dude, man, I'd like to get some of that. They're so good looking. Just so, I want to get in on that. And they said, well, what are we going to do about God? What do we get? We can't just do that. I mean, that could be really bad. So they swore an oath, a pact. They made a pact with each other. And this is the story. I'm not,
right.
And in no time am I saying this actually happened. This is the story of the Book of Enoch. That's my disclaimer.
Right.
Okay. So they swore a pact that no one would talk. And then they descended to earth and they made wives of the daughters of men and they made babies.
Mm-hmm.
And these babies looked like normal babies. And, everything was cool until they grew into these giants. And we mean giants.
Yeah.
Large, large men, angry, violent, bloody men who had no morals, who had no chill.
Right.
And they ate people. And they would even do battle with each other and kill each other. And they eat of the flesh of their slaughtered person there.
Right.
And it says in the Gospels, it says, men were bad, so there was a flood. What Enoch is doing is, by the way, Enoch was the grandfather of Noah. Did you know that?
No.
He's Noah's grandfather. And things got so bad. Now, Enoch was well known as a man of knowledge and even prophecy, but a very, very stalwart man of God. He was known as that. And when things got so bad on earth, because before the angels did this, the fallen angels, before they did this, men were leading fairly righteous lives. I would almost say as righteous a life as you or I are living now as Christians. Not that we are. We're still sinners. And
right.
We know that. But we know that we're forgiven. All right. But we still, that's no excuse for us.
Right.
But we still do the best we can, knowing what we know and feeling what we have felt. We do the best we can. I kind of get the feeling that humankind was kind of like that before the angels, before the fall of the angels, to which they just screwed everything up and everything just went almost literally to hell at that point on earth, in the cradle of civilization. And so Noah goes to Enoch and he says, it's like, what the hell, man? It's like, dad or granddad, you've got all the wisdom, and it was shortly after that the God came to Noah and told him, said, do this, do that, build a ship, we're off. That's it. So that's basically the story. And the angels had come down there and completely corrupted humans. And even said, I told you how to make weapons, how to make armor, taught the women how to put on makeup and be prostitutes. Yeah. And it just completely taught them games, taught them, like gambling. And the angels did all of this, is according to the Book of Enoch.
Right.
All right. I just find it super interesting and compelling.
Right.
Later on, you learn that God made the new covenant. Well, this is the covenant with Jerusalem. With the Jews. That there would never be another flood. There'll never be another flood.
Right.
We'll never do it that way again. And he actually said, all of my killing in the flood, it was all in vain. So this of course is 1,000 years, 2,000 years, maybe 13, maybe 10,000 years before the new covenant of Jesus Christ. Right. Okay. So there's that. You can interject here.
No, you're good.
All right. So that's pretty. Now there's a lot more to the Book of Enoch.
Right.
Enoch goes on these spiritual journeys where he's taken literally to the kingdom of heaven and he's shown all around, and it is unbelievable. To the north, the south, the east, and the west, there are all these different journeys and things he saw, things he describes, and all of it is to the glory of God. None of it is what I would think would be weird or anything from a Christian standpoint. I mean, you read it and you go, it's pretty cool, man. And this video talks about some stuff like both the winds and the waters. And Enoch goes quite a bit into things about the winds, the spiritual winds and spiritual waters, talking about there being different kinds of winds. There are evil winds, there are, spiritual winds, there are godly, whatever. And then it also talks about an abyss of water that is not, we're not talking about the oceans, we're talking about something else. And scientifically, that's, it's been proven that there's more water under the earth than there is on top of the earth.
Right.
Like more than all the oceans and on the globe, there's more water than that under the earth. And that's been scientifically proven. So that was kind of like an aha moment for me. It's like, well, that's kind of true.
Right.
For what they're talking about an abyss of water. He also, Enoch also was shown Sheol, hell. He was shown all of that. And from a distance, he's shown all this and just all the horror of the angels who are. It's just a horror show.
Right.
It's an absolute horror show. And that's all in there. And I enjoyed reading it very, very much. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it. I probably will.
Right.
But then we move on to, and this video puts it, you think that's something, wait until you read the Mashafa Kidan.
Right.
And this is the Book of the Covenant. And this is a shocker because this describes Jesus Christ walking the earth for 40 days after his resurrection. And that entire time he was teaching, and laying out things to the apostles. You got to do this. You have to do this. And this is what it's going to be like. Now, this is not in the Bible. It's in the Book of the Covenants, or the Mashafa Kidan. All right, let's just play a little piece of this here. This is a little further on, and I'm going to have to do this first. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. This is 452. Look, I landed right on it. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Decoding the 40-day secret message. In the standard Gospel of Luke, the time between the resurrection and the ascension is a blur. But in the Ethiopian Mashafa Kidan, it is the main event. This is the moment the safety rails come off. According to these texts, the risen Christ gathers his disciples not just to comfort them, but to prepare them for a spiritual war. He speaks of the builder of shadows. This is a concept that will blow your mind. He explains that the material world, the world of money, status, and physical empires, is largely the playground of a deceptive force. He tells them, "Do not build temples of stone, for the stone will crumble.
Ooh.
Build the temple of the heart, for it is eternal." This might sound like a nice metaphor, but in the context of the Ethiopian text, it is a literal command. He is warning them against organized religion. He predicts that men will wear long robes and use his name to hoard gold. He specifically warns against a future Rome that will turn his cross into a sword. The specificity is what scares scholars. It is almost as if he is looking 2,000 years into the future and seeing the Crusades, the Inquisitions, and the mega churches. He tells the disciples that the true believer must be a stranger to the systems of men. But here is the catch. He introduces a dualistic view of the human soul that is almost biological. He says every human has two winds blowing through them, the wind of life and the wind of error. The wind of error isn't just bad thoughts. It is described like a parasite. It enters through greed, through the eyes when they look at what they shouldn't, and through the mouth when it speaks lies. Once this wind gets in, it calcifies the heart. It turns a living human into what he calls a walking tomb. Think about that for a second. A walking tomb. A person who breathes, eats, and posts on social media, but spiritually, they are already gone. It is a zombie apocalypse, but for the soul. And get this, he gives them the antidote. It isn't a tithe or a ritual. It is gnosis, knowledge. He teaches them to watch their thoughts like a guard watches a gate. He teaches them that the kingdom of heaven is literally inside their own body, hidden in the silence between thoughts. This is why the Roman Empire had to suppress this text. Rome needed obedient citizens who feared the emperor and the pope. They didn't need self-aware mystics who believed that the church was unnecessary. If you believe God is inside you, you don't pay taxes to the temple. You don't bow to the bishop. You become uncontrollable.
Wow. That, I love all of that. I love it. Whether it actually happened or not. I just think the messaging there is so spot on. I know, a lot of Catholics are going to have problems with it because he's warning against organized religion, basically. The Christ didn't have church. He didn't go into churches and preach. He preached, we gather around, everybody.
Right.
Here we go. This is it. That's how it was done. And it was done that way after he died as well. It was years later that they started building stone temples and, and all that, and organized religion, which, there's so much in there. If you watch that 3 or 4 times, you'll glean something new from it every time you watch it.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
So by no stance whatsoever am I a biblical scholar and everything. I'm very, very ignorant on a lot of stuff and everything, but a lot of that is like, it seems like it is in the Bible and everything. He talks about how
you make a good point.
Yeah.
And I'll just interject this real quick while you're talking. A lot of speculation about this, but one of the reasons why these books were not included was because of it had already been told. Yeah. It had already been said. It's repetitious. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Do you happen to have the video I sent you with that timestamp?
Yeah, I have it on my phone, but I could pull it up.
Yeah, if possible, you could pull that up on.
You want to show it?
Yeah, because that is probably the best.
That's. Well, I don't even know why that's going. Shh. Okay. Let me find it. Actually, there's an easier way to do this. Let's see. Let's go get out of this.
I mean, it's easy.
And let's go to this. And let's go to, where's my messenger? Oh, because it's not on this account.
Well, it's easy to find on YouTube. It'll be just Josh Hawthorne.
Okay.
And I can pull up the timestamp here.
Oh, before I do that, let me make a duplicate of this because I want to come back to this one more time. There we go.
He speaks of the story.
Yeah, whatever. Josh Hawthorne. Is there another keyword that would direct me to this video?
No, it should be, you can just click on the first one right there.
This one?
No, up his name up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just go onto his channel. Lake Point Church, yep.
Okay.
And then go into his, what was the Book of Enoch, the first video right there. And then go to timestamp 4613.
4613.
A lot of people, they're gripped by.
Okay, coming right up. Let me go back to this.
This is the best explanation I've ever heard for the Book of Enoch being removed and everything.
Here we go. Close enough. Close enough. Here we go. Oops.
Another one here. I'm really curious if you guys have dived into the Book of Enoch and what your thoughts are in it. So I want to, and I got some emails
Wait,
as
there's
well.
one more. Enoch describes demons as the spirits of the giants, part angels, part humans. Because of that, they cannot leave the earth. They hated us and they were alive and they hate us now. Well, by the way, we need to do an episode on the Nephilim at some point.
That's right. That's coming soon.
We'll get there. Yeah.
But I want to bring this conversation because people are, some people are like, the Book of Enoch. I don't remember reading that one.
Didn't Joe Rogan mention it?
That's right. He did. And we actually have a clip. I want to show it.
You got that clip? Okay.
Trini, you got.
So let me say this. So yeah, here's why we're going to talk about this. And I'm going to leave this to the chat GPT. It's like people are on a huge Book of Enoch kick lately.
Bro, yes, they are.
So you got all these comments. But then this week, you even had Rogan going viral, talking Book of Enoch. You want to show it?
Yep. Trinity, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, did you actually see this?
So she came on my podcast too, and she was telling me some stuff that was just like mind blowing. And she really got me to read the Book of Enoch. She's like, you got to read that.
So you have the Ethiopian Orthodox text, which has, I think, 88 books of the Bible in total, but
81.
in the Ethiopian Orthodox text, it's basically kind of like a mainline OG version of the Bible. And then sometime in the 4th century, there was actually a group that came together and they removed certain books. And the story goes that Revelations actually had replaced Enoch. And so it's interesting because when you're looking kind of full circle on, you hear the stuff that some of these people are talking about, and then you see and you read the Book of Enoch, which is a wild read, okay? And then you look at kind of what our modern day description is of what angels and entities are versus what Enoch was seeing and reporting in his language and ability at that time. I think that there's a lot that brings you to then ask the question, well, why would they remove this information? If it's truly, written in part of the oldest Bible in the world, why would they then take it out?
Then that could have easily been attached to the religious canon.
You tell me when you want to cut this.
Some rabbis disagreed with it because it didn't vibe with the Torah. So let's chuck that one out. But it's in the same lump of Dead Sea Scrolls. They have the Book of Isaiah, which is really fascinating because Wes Huff, when he was on my podcast, explained to me that the Book of Isaiah that they found in the Dead Sea Scrolls is verbatim the same as the Book of Isaiah that was 1,000 years more recent.
That's good.
Yes.
All right, Paul Cunningham. Paul is our resident Book of Enoch scholar.
By the way, the episode's going to be good when you got like 4.
Look at this guy.
I've got a Hebrew Bible, a Greek New Testament, a Catholic Bible, and Left Behind. All the essentials. All the
There we
essentials.
go. All right, so Paul Cunningham, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
Number 1, why when we talked about aliens did everyone start mentioning the Book of Enoch? And then number 2, what's up with the Book of Enoch? Is this something they just cut out of the Bible because to protect the aliens?
And then number 3, what the heck is the Book of Enoch?
Those are just kind of spoof questions.
So, many things there. Number one, in terms of aliens, probably Rogan goes on in that clip to talk, almost connect the idea
you can
of
fast forward a little bit,
which is a term used.
Well, the aliens have been confused with the angels.
right?
Something came down out of the sky and taught everybody technology.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's basically what he's going to kind of say here is the Watchers.
Yeah. Right. so we can skip ahead a bit.
You can go.
Let's see.
Looks like you've been highlighting, and this is like your real copy.
Is
this a signed copy?
And so here's the thing with this is what Left Behind is, for those who don't know, is written about 30 years ago by Tim LaHaye and Jerry Jenkins.
Can we skip over
they're
this?
talking about what could happen in the future, but it's a fiction book. It's like fan fiction of what could happen in the future if Revelation happened today, kind of a thing. But I want us to imagine for a second if it was written now, or even like 1,000 years in the future, and instead of having their names on it, all of a sudden it had like the Apostle John or James or things like that, and saying, oh no, see, this is legit. This really did happen. And so whereas that would be more about what could happen in the future, people are falsely ascribing Enoch to themselves to say, here's what we believe happened in the past, and authoritatively try to be saying this is what happened in the past. But it's only one school of thought. Now, a few things here. One is, honestly, when I watched that video and that, I forget what her name was when she began speaking, I literally, while we're nerding out, I'm going to just kind of go to Star Wars right now, because there's this line in Star Wars from Luke Skywalker where after Kylo Ren kind of goes off, Luke looks at him and says, amazing, every word that you just said was wrong. And so when I watched, I was like,
I feel like Paul looks at me like that sometimes.
Paul has that under review.
You can skip 10 seconds or so.
I concur that Anna Paulina Luna was completely off base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that lady was and everything, but yeah,
she's a rep. She's a congressional rep. She's big time.
Yeah. And see, that's what stuff like that kind of scares me, because I believe like people like Joe Rogan are on like the cusp of accepting Christ. And
he says he already. I heard it's a done deal.
But the people like that, it scares me, because when you get new believers, fresh believers, and everything, and they're not fully read up and stuff like that, and everything sounds good. Yeah, and that's where a downfall can really happen.
Well, it depends on the person, sure, but yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
That happens. I'm looking for Book of Enoch here. Are they getting into it?
Yeah.
I was like, where do I even begin? And so with this, a lot of people nowadays think, oh, the Book of Enoch is this ancient book, and it actually tells us the truth, and it was once in the Bible and it's banned from the Bible, and that's simply not true. So I've got
a problem with this. He doesn't know that for a fact. He doesn't know it's not true.
Well, he's about to explain it.
Some different Bibles with me up here. I've got a Hebrew English Bible. The Book of Enoch has never been in the Hebrew Bible. Ever. Okay. It was never in there, never taken.
Okay, you heard me say that the books are written between 303 and 650.
Yeah.
After Christ.
AD, yep.
Okay. Well, that's important.
Taken out because it's never in there to begin with.
But she said, oh, hey, it was, and some rabbis just kicked it out because it had.
That's what I had heard also, was that it was the Jews that rejected it. It was the Hebrews who rejected it.
Right.
And I'm going to get how that happened and why that happened, because it's also attributed to this weird false belief, although I think I know how it developed. But I'll get to that in just a second. So I've got a Greek New Testament. Let's say we combined a Greek Old Testament, often called the Septuagint, with this. Here's the thing. You'll not find the Book of Enoch in here ever. It was never in the Septuagint, which means that not only Hebraic Jews, but also Hellenistic.
See, I hate this, because he's just reiterating. He's saying the same thing over and over again. It wasn't in this one. It wasn't in this one. It wasn't in this one. Okay, well, we already know that the Hebrews rejected it.
Right.
Can we move on from that?
Yeah, you can fast forward a little bit.
Never believed it was a part of the Bible. A lifetime. And you're like, they banned him from the Constitution. I'm like, well, if you mean by that he was in there and then they decided they didn't like it and took it out later, no. But it is the first illuminated gospels that we have. And when I say illuminated, the picture, if you're listening to this instead of watching it, it has a drawing or a painting in there. So it is the first illuminated text that we have, but it is
illustrated.
Not the first gospel that we have, full gospel. It is definitely not the first Bible that we have. In fact, the first...
You said 500 AD.
That's 500
so
AD.
It's like way...
I was about to say,
late.
So we have something. I think we have another picture.
That's just so... See, guys like this... I hate guys like this. Guys like this who just, I know everything. I know it. I'm going to tell you. You got no objectivity. Nothing. It's like, I went to Bible school. I learned. Okay, fine.
Of Codex Vaticanus. It is from the early 300s, which contains almost the entire Old Testament and New Testament in Greek. And it definitely has all the complete text of the 4 Gospels. So almost 200 years before the Green Gospels, we have this text and we have the complete Gospels. The first complete Ethiopian Bible we have, by the way, dates between the 14th and 15th centuries.
Okay, he's got this completely wrong. It's been carbon dated. The Ethiopian Bible it's the church. No, it's Church of Mary Our Lady. What is it called? I think I wrote it down. The Church of Mary Our Lady of Zion.
Mm-hmm.
And this Bible, this crusty old Bible, has been carbon dated back between 300 and 600 AD. So he's wrong.
Moses.
So over 1,000 years after this, and by the way, in the early 400s, we had the Latin Vulgate, which has the complete Bible as we know it. Again, that's almost 1,000 years before that as well. So I think what happened is people somehow took this idea that it was the first illuminated Gospels, and then they started just saying, oh, this is the oldest thing we have, when that's simply not true. The case. Not the case. No one.
Well, we got to do more research. More research. Because the claim, and I went beyond my video to research this claim, and there it is carbon dated. The pages, the paper, the whole thing's been carbon dated back to between 303 and 650. And the Book of Enoch is in there. So is the Book of Jubilees, which I haven't even touched on yet, and I won't today. But yeah, crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be some more stuff I got to research and everything. And yeah, I just... Did I take this far enough? Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
You kind of get the point of where they're driving.
Huh?
I said, you kind of get the point where they're driving.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the crux of his argument is it wasn't written until 1400. That's the crux of his argument.
Right.
Is that Enoch wasn't written until 1400. That's simply not true.
13. I think he said the 13th.
He said between 14 and 15th
century.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So we need to wrap it up. And I just wanted to take, there's a bit of a conclusion on this video. Now, I just want to say this about this video too.
He also speaks of,
I think it's very important. This channel, this YouTube channel was started in October.
Right.
I'll tell you how this works. I've learned very much about this. I want to do it myself because you can make a lot of money doing this. All right. This guy picked kind of a niche, and I'm going to do this. It's probably just one guy. All right. Probably some guy in his parents' house,
right,
in his basement. Doing this.
Right.
All right. The way it works is this. You pick a topic and you may want to even flesh it out a little bit on paper or whatever. You put it in Chat GPT and you write yourself, I say, I want a 30-minute script on this topic for a YouTube video.
Right.
And it, boom, it happens. And you got to go in, you got to edit it, clean it up a little bit. You get that, you take it, you break it into quadrants, and then you put it in 11 labs. You know what that is? 11 labs?
No.
It's okay. It's a, here, I'm going to change the picture. It's a thing where you put in a script and it'll kick you out audio files.
Gotcha.
Some great announcer doing whatever it is but it's done very professionally.
Right.
So then you take those, and what this guy's doing, I guarantee you what he's doing is he's taking that audio file and he's putting it up on Google Drive and he's sending it to a video editor and saying, match images to this text, 26 minutes. And he's paying for that.
Right.
He doesn't care because this, I don't know if you noticed, but this has been viewed 321,000 times in 9 days.
Right.
There's a lot of money associated with that.
Right.
You get your channel monetized, and this in perpetuity, this thing's going to reach 1 million views within a month.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
Right.
And you can pay a Fiverr. You know what Fiverr is?
Yep. I've heard of
Fiverr.
Yep.
Okay. You can pay a Fiverr video editor probably a couple $100.
Yep.
And he's going to match this thing. It's got to be top notch. It's got to be good. He's going to match it. He's going to do a whole thing. I know a guy who does much shorter videos and sends them off to a video editor, and he gets them back within an hour.
Right.
And they're done. and they might be 3 minutes, 4 minutes long, but they're done.
Right.
And he sends you back a finished video. And all you got to do is come up with a thumbnail, a title, and description, and upload it to YouTube.
Right.
And you're done. You're making money. And you can do all that. This one guy did it right on YouTube, did the whole thing, and it took him about an hour and 20 minutes. And he's printing money.
Right.
You know, this is one of those kind of channels.
Right.
All right. So I give it no credibility whatsoever.
Right.
I listen for the content to try to get the validity of the content. And if I can do that, I can get something from it, I'm going to use it. Right. Plus, these guys were right that everybody's excited about the Book of Enoch right now. It seems to be probably because somebody brought it up on Joe Rogan, and then Joe Rogan's on another guy's show and they talk about it. And Anna Polina Luna seems to think she knows what she's talking about. She doesn't. So whatever. I think it's kind of like drive-by scripture for her. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just going to play the conclusion to this that I wanted to put up, and I probably won't even take this all the way to the end, but it starts, what I'm doing here starts at, I got to change this first. Okay. And then I'm going to take this to 23:19. Okay, there we go. That's close enough. All right. And we're not going to play it till the end because he says some stuff that I think is crap.
Right.
But we're just going to do this right here.
We are living in a time of massive global distrust. Nobody trusts the government. Nobody trusts the news. And fewer people trust the organized Western church.
Yep.
People are starving.
Yes.
They are hungry for a raw, unfiltered spiritual experience.
Yeah,
they don't want a middleman. They want the gnosis, the direct knowledge. The release of these Ethiopian texts is feeding that hunger like gasoline on a fire. It validates a feeling that millions of people have had since they were children. The nagging feeling that something is missing from the story, that we have been lied to, that the version of history we learned in Sunday school was the light version edited for compliance. Here is the wild theory. The Council of Nicaea didn't just remove books to streamline the Bible, they removed them to deactivate us. The Ethiopian texts, like the Book of Enoch and the Kebra Nagast, describe human beings not as sheep needing a shepherd, but as powerful spiritual entities involved in a cosmic war. They talk about the Watchers, fallen angels who tampered with human DNA. They talk about technology used by the ancients that we are only just rediscovering. By removing these books, the Western gatekeepers stripped us of our history and our armor. They turned us into passive consumers of religion rather than active participants in a spiritual war. But Ethiopia didn't get the memo. Ethiopia kept the pro version of the software while the rest of the world got the downgrade. It gets even crazier when you look at what is actually in these texts. We aren't just talking about prayers and psalms, we are talking about what looks suspiciously like lost physics. Some researchers believe the Ethiopian manuscripts contain the secrets of acoustic levitation. Look at the churches of Lalibela in Ethiopia.
Okay, got to stop here because some of that's crap.
Yeah.
The churches of Lalibela. This is in Ethiopia.
Yeah, I've looked at this. This is really crazy.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Like I got some pictures of them. I'll just let it go. I'll let this go. Here.
They weren't built. They were cut out of solid rock from the top down.
Wow.
The local legend says angels helped build them at night. But modern theorists analyzing the translated text believe angels is a mistranslation for a technology that used sound frequencies to soften stone. If this is true, the Book of the Covenant might not just be a religious text. It might be a technical manual. It might.
Anyway, that's, this goes on to say, people are so enamored of Egypt and all that. Egypt. And this is way beyond that.
Right.
They built this church from the top down.
Right.
They massive underground rock. And I'm told that what they did was they dug it all out first, all around the whole rock, way, way down. How long would that take with tools that they had back then? Right. And it was oh man, there's a whole part of this I didn't even get to, which maybe next time, about Menelik, who is the son of Solomon,
right?
Who was Queen of Sheba, and they had a little dalliance, and they created Menelik.
Right.
And Menelik was in Ethiopia. And when he got to be old enough, he traveled down to Jerusalem and met up with his dad,
Right.
King Solomon.
Yeah.
And King Solomon offered him the kingdom. He said, "Here you go, man. It's all yours." He said, "I want to go back to Ethiopia."
Yeah, right.
And this is such a whole nother thing, man. Oh, I got to do it. So how long have we been on here? Hour and 10. We'll do it next time. We'll talk about the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
Because, this is a whole wild thing, but we got to do it next time.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
Okay. Anyway, where did I leave off? I don't know. It's been fun. We had a good time, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Book of Enoch, Book of the Covenants, or the Mashafa Kidan. I haven't even scratched the surface on the Book of Jubilees yet. I'm not even sure what that's all about. And there's more. There's even more.
Right.
But when they're talking about 88 books or 81 books, they're including Enoch 1, Enoch 2, Enoch 3, as well as Book of the Covenants 1, 2, 3, I believe there is. So it adds up pretty quickly to 81. But yeah, it's all there, man. It's like, I got to read it. I got to see what this is all about. I want to make up my own mind. I want to read it, and I want to make up my own mind, pray about it, obviously, make up my own mind.
Right.
And you got any closing thoughts on all this?
No, I'm going to do some more research on it and everything and sharpen my sword and see what happens.
Yeah. Just to be like that guy.
Yeah.
That guy, man. He's probably a really nice guy. These young bucks with a stack of books. Yeah, I went to school and I read it all and I know it all. And I'm going to tell you what it is. Boy, if I ever get to that point, you can shoot me. Because I don't claim to know anything about anything.
Right.
Other than what I have known and felt in my heart, and if the thing is, it talks about the gnosis, the knowledge, right? And there's scripture on that as well. It's like even now we see in part, we know in part, but when we're reunited with God in heaven, then we will know everything,
right?
Basically, just as now we are fully known by
right.
God, right? That's the exciting part,
right?
We are going to know,
right?
We are going to know what those UFOs are. If it even matters anymore,
right?
At that point, right?
right.
We don't know, right? So anyway, there you go. So let me just do my little thing. If you get any final thoughts,
no. Come on out to Darnell Farms Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Ride a Christmas hayride. See Santa Claus.
My son went back to St. Pete to work.
Okay.
And he's coming up for Christmas, and they've got their tickets. They're all going together on the hayride.
Very cool. Are you going to come?
I'll probably just shoot it on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard we're going to have a warm Christmas.
Yeah. Other than today, it's cold.
Yeah. It's warming up from today on.
Right.
It's warming. It's steadily getting. We get a little bit of a dip on Friday, but we've got a tremendous warming trend in this country coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's going to be this cold, I'd at least like to have some snow.
Yeah, no doubt.
I stay in my house anyway, so who cares? Anyway, so let me just turn to my camera here and say, folks, the reason why I do this is so that at the end of this, I can say, if you are wondering about being a Christian, if you have never, ever accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, please give that some thought. If my life can be any example to you, just somebody who kind of drifted through life as a Christian. I accepted Jesus when I was in high school, but as a man who went through life in a lot of different phases of life, wasn't quite to the point where I am now in my old age, but it's just important to me that I tell you about Jesus Christ, because it's the one thing I can do to keep myself relevant in the body of Christ, is to let other people know about Jesus Christ. And there's just something called the sinner's prayer. If you want to know how to become a Christian, it's just about going before God, bowing your head and saying, Father God, I know I'm a sinner. I feel terrible about it. I'm separated from you. I want to fix that. I want to change that. And I know that you gave your only son, Jesus Christ, to live his life on earth, a sinless life, a blameless life. And at the end of that life, he took the blame on himself for all of my transgressions, for all the sin of the world. He died and took the torture and the horrible suffering and the death on himself for me and for all of us. I truly believe that that is the case. And not only that, but Jesus Christ rose from that death 3 days later and proved his point and said, I go now to be with my Father, sit at the right hand of my Father. And I go now to prepare a place for you. And if you do that, you believe that, you've been accepted into the kingdom of heaven. And we're not talking about some mystery sky man. We're talking about thousands and thousands of years of ritual and scripture texts. I mean, I have no way of proving it to you other than telling you that it has worked for me. And like I said, I became a Christian when I was a teenager, and through my life, I've been through different things in different phases, but I have to tell you that the mentoring I got as a young man and the experiences I've been through and all of my sin and my transgression, I now see it all as what got me to where I am today. And that is just wanting very much in my old age to tell you about Jesus Christ and hoping that it can make you and your life better, knowing that I am taking you with me to the kingdom of heaven. That's all I got. I hope you all enjoyed the show today. We're going to have more of this kind of stuff coming at you. So take care. And Chevy, I'll say one more time, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
And I hope you're going to be back next week.
Yes.
Good deal, because we got more to talk about. So with that, y'all have a good time. Enjoy your life. Have a good one out there. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.